That was like, yo, y'all didn't play good.
We thought it was sweet,
Bro,
bro.
he was busting net too. I think it was like 6-0 against some team. He was like, no. Y'all gonna stay and run. Just put on your running shoes.
Life, quarantine life. We all right.
Getting through the week.
Yeah.
The week's going well.
Week is cool, man. Taking it easy, one step at a time, man.
Shit. One step at a time. Nah, I hear you, man. It's wild. It's really wild out here with everything going on. Still trying to find my feet, but yeah. Let's get into it. So today, man, we're gonna be discussing talking about the mental health aspect of the game and how, it played an impact in our lives, our day-to-day lives, and a little bit about our upbringing. Getting raised in a home of African parents, how that played a part. So, you guys want to start?
Yeah, man, you could kick it off, bro, and then we'll just freestyle off that.
I mean, I have to talk more about the mental health side because this is what affected me a lot as a player.
Yeah.
Because just even like growing up as a kid, we were raised in such like a competitive environment. Like it wasn't normal to have like four, no, not even four. I would say like 6, 7 of your best friends, all high level players.
Yeah.
So like it added an extra level of pressure. So like even at a young age, starting at that point, that's when the mental health started to like, get into the picture. But when you're that young, you don't know what that is.
Right.
You don't know what that means. You don't know what that anxiety feeling is, right?
Yeah.
But then as I got older and like, I went into like academy soccer and then going to France and then going to Sweden, bro, like the mental health aspect is honestly the biggest part that ended my career early. Because like, getting injured and then being in a foreign country and then not having your friends, your family, no one around you to like really be that backbone of support, man. I would sit in my room and my head would just be flying with all kind of wild thoughts. Just the worst scenarios too. Like never positive stuff, bro. Never positive. It's always stuff like, dang, like, well, that was like your first touch was poor, or the coach didn't look at you today, or you're probably not gonna make the roster for the game day, or something like that. It was never positive thoughts, man. I was always second guessing myself, and then like it started to carry on to the field, and when that happens, bro, your performances go downhill. It's over. You can't play. You can't play.
Yeah.
Total loss of confidence. So it's crazy, and like I feel like it's something that kids need to be like they need to understand mental health at a young age so that they can grasp it and fully understand. Because if you're playing a game that's competitive, soccer, basketball, doesn't matter what sport you're playing at a high level, you're gonna go through the mental wear and tear. It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Right? But it's all about how you manage that, and I think that adds to like the longevity of a player's career. Is having that strong mental mindset.
No, that's for sure. Especially when you get in the game at such a young age. Like you hear people talk about, the game's 90% mental, but when you're that young, you're not really trying to hear that, or you don't even know like what they're talking about.
Right. You have no idea, bro.
On the outside looking in, like when I stopped playing, that's when I realized, like, wow, the game is really 90% mental. Like that, when they say that, that's the truth.
Yeah.
'Cause I know, like, after my injury, man, I did not have the same motivation to play.
No, it's tough.
Like it was hard coming back. Like I did not have that drive before my injury, man. I was going hard. Like
good.
I was good. Came back. There was mad doubt. The coaches were looking at me funny, man. All that. So, seriously, man, they were looking at me funny. Like people were already established. Like when before I broke my shin, right? Andy Nahar was a bench player on the team. Yeah. When I came back, that man was balling, like practicing with the first team at DC United and everything. Like it changed just like that, Sure. So who am I to come back like my guy? We already got your replacement. You're good. So I gotta fight through that.
Yeah, it's
tough.
And
I'm still coming back from injury. Right. I came back too early. And all that plays in your head, bro. All that plays in your head. And like you said, man, the game is 90% mental.
Bro,
It's
play
really
long.
90% mental. I couldn't last like. That was
Bro,
it, man.
just think about long-term injuries. I know Joe could understand this for sure, but when I was 15, I was fortunate enough to go ahead and, go to Marseille and all that. And bro, I tore my ACL the last practice before heading to summer vacation. Like
That's
we were just
crazy.
we were just out scrimmaging, having a good time. My ACL just popped, you know.
Dang.
Yeah, bro. And at that point, my mind's going crazy. I'm like, am I ever gonna play competitively again? And then, did the whole rehab process thing. Then when I came back, bro, when you step into the field, it's like every step that I take, I was thinking, damn, am I gonna tear it again?
Mm,
You know what I mean? Can I do
Yeah.
that again? Like I lost
yeah.
my explosion. Yeah, it was crazy. But Joe, you had the knee injury, man. How was your recovery coming back from that?
Boy, that stuff. Yeah, don't even know where to start, man. Like just the same thing that you were talking about. Like you be in the room alone,
Yeah.
head bouncing off the wall, bro. Thoughts going everywhere. It got to a point where I just turned off the TV. I wasn't trying to watch soccer, bro. I didn't even want to
Right.
see it. I didn't even want to see it, man.
No,
I
I hear
didn't want to see. I didn't want to
you.
watch any games. I didn't want to be around it for a good minute,
Yeah.
you know. Cause before that, I never really had any troubles with the injuries or nothing like that, you know.
Yeah.
And then right at that moment, it got to me just cause like I just debuted at the national team.
Right. Right.
Dortmund, like I'm on the
Again
come
against
up.
Ecuador, bro. That was against
Yeah,
Ecuador,
bro.
wasn't it?
Like
Yeah. Game, bro.
I'm about to re-sign a new deal at Dortmund, bro.
Right.
I see the dollar signs in my face.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I
Right.
mean? I'm about to redo a new thing with Nike, all this stuff, bro.
Yeah.
And
You're
then
posting pics with Klopp, like hugging you and all that, bro.
Brodies,
You
bro,
were right. You
Brodies.
were right there. You were
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
That's crazy.
And then just the injury, just for it to come. Like the first few weeks, I was in disbelief. Like I didn't want to accept it.
Mhm.
I was just like, man. And like I was in that denial phase. So like it didn't really hit me. I was like, oh no, fuck this. I'm gonna be back
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be back, hit the ground running. Like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Not until I go back in for the second examination and they're like, nah, you gotta sit back for a while. And
Shit.
then that's when I had to take it in, man. Like he told me 9 to 12 months.
Oh
The
my
shit took 22. Bro.
jeez.
Shit took 22.
Bro, that's gosh, 2 years, bro.
Imagine, bro. So I'm in the crib like every day. I'm there alone, like thinking worst case scenarios, like damn, I'm probably not gonna play. Like, what am I
No,
about to do with my
seriously,
life?
seriously. Your mind goes to those dark places.
Dark places, man.
God.
Dark places. And like, I mean, I think IG and everything is cool, but like it's just a fashion show, man, cuz like you don't really see the other sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were growing up, like we didn't have the gram, you had MySpace and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everybody wasn't really flexing like how they're flexing now.
What?
It's
Now
it's
it's
on a
crazy.
it's on a
You have
different
nine,
level.
10-year-olds on IG now with thousands of followers, bro.
Yeah. And nowadays, like if you look, you follow any top soccer players, like you just follow and you think like, oh snap, they're not going through anything. Like it's cool, it's all good. Like, I want to be a pro. It's all gravy. No,
Oh,
no, not at all, man.
yeah,
Even at the highest level, you
yeah,
got mental battles
for
that you
sure,
got to go through, man.
sure.
So,
Boys.
and like
No,
what I
that's a fact,
also
bro.
what?
No, no, no. I'm saying that's a fact. People try to. It's funny because people always think just because like you make a certain amount of dollars that you're good. No, bro. Like
Nah,
if
man.
anything, it adds more pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Now you're playing in the spotlight. Now every mistake is highlighted. Every step that you take is highlighted. I feel like it definitely adds more pressure. It's
yeah.
that's
Bro,
sweet. Yeah, go ahead, Omar.
it has a lot of pressure, bro. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if y'all remember Andre Gomes on Barcelona?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
This
Of course,
guy's a top player,
a
but he
beast.
could not handle that pressure at Barca, man.
Yeah,
But when he went to when he switched to Everton, that's when he was able to show his quality, like
he was
that the
balling.
quality that everyone knows he has.
Yeah,
yeah,
He has to have that confidence to go out there and do it. And at Barca,
yeah.
he had zero confidence, and you can see it in his play, bro.
Of course, man.
confidence is everything, bro.
It's everything. You need that. You need that. You need that rhythm. But 9 times out of 10, that stuff comes from you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what I realized, like playing nowadays, dudes are not gonna be behind you if you're not even behind yourself.
There you go.
You know what I
That.
mean? If you're not behind yourself, people aren't gonna be for you because it's a meat market.
Yeah,
If you're not gonna do it, somebody else is gonna do it.
for
And
sure.
that applies to everything in life.
It applies to everything, man. Jobs,
Sure. Everything.
9 to 5, anything. You
You gotta
know?
be. It's a cutthroat environment, bro. As you get older, people is not just like it's people's livelihood. Like it's someone's money. Like
Yeah,
think about it. You're trying to take somebody's money. That's how
yeah,
you think about it. You know what I mean? Like you go in there, you have. I remember, bro, when I went to Marseille, man. The guys on my team, I had like 3 guys from Senegal, a guy from Mali. These guys we were what 15 years old. They were like the breadwinners of their family. Like
yeah,
they're sending money back to their village so that the whole village can eat. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
they're not there to like be boys and shake hands, bro. It's a battlefield
yeah.
out there, bro. And that's when having confidence is key because you're going against guys like that. You got to be ready. You got to be
Bro.
ready.
Always,
You got to be ready.
always, man,
Got to be
always.
ready, bro.
Yeah.
And I
They're
think one of the,
they're
I
ready to
think,
go.
oh yeah,
For
for
sure.
sure. But I think one of the main things is like understanding that that's part of it, you know?
Hmm.
Because like there's a lot of times you go in it and then you come against some hardship and you're like, oh, what is this? You know, but you got to understand that that's part of it. And I think a lot of times, how we grew up, that set us up a little bit for the pro environment, just the
No, for sure.
how much our parents expected of us, you
Big,
know.
big
So
time.
like there was never gonna be anybody that was gonna expect more of me than myself just
Hmm.
because of what my dad expected of me. You know what I mean?
That's a great way to put it. No, that's a fact.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's African mentality right there, bro.
yeah,
It's either
yeah.
you eat or you starve. There's no in between. Like you
No
gotta
in
have that.
between.
You gotta be a lion, man. Like I
Yeah.
remember, bro. We played a game, Joe. It was at Argyle Middle School. I'll never forget this day. We had just
Oh
won, bro.
man.
Bro, after the game, that was like, yo, y'all didn't play good.
We thought it was sweet,
Bro,
bro.
he was busting net too. I think it was like 6-0 against some team. He was like, no, y'all gonna stay and run. Just put on your running shoes. And me and Joe was crying, boy. We were like,
That's that tough love, man. That's that tough love.
We thought it
oh
was
my god.
sweet, man. We thought it was sweet. Argyle Middle School. Damn, that's a throwback.
Bro, go back. I remember that day. I can't forget that day, bro. Because that's the day that honestly, like, that's like such a big point in my life where I realized, dang, like, someone really expects greatness out of me. So I
Yeah,
have to hold that standard. Like
yeah,
the fact that we, to our eyes, scoring goals, played a good game. We thought that, bro. But to your dad's eyes and what he thought that who we should be, it was not up to his level.
yeah.
And he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna show you guys that wasn't good enough.
That wasn't
Like
good
y'all
enough.
gonna run." That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
We thought we scored some goals, man. We bust those guys up. Game over. About to go home and chill.
Mhm.
No.
that was a crazy feeling, bro. That was a crazy feeling,
That
man.
was him. That was him trying to instill a strong mentality in you guys. You feel me?
Most
So
Hmm.
he was
definitely.
doing it for the. I mean, obviously he was doing it for the benefit of y'all, because there's kids in Brazil that they going out there. They trying to they
Oh
trying
yeah,
to go crazy.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah.
so you
That's
guys
that's
have
it.
that same mentality to be able to match that level.
Facts. And he knew
But
that.
do you guys think that like just touching back on the mental health because this all ties into it for real.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
do you think that like clubs should start implementing like a plan to like help these younger kids understand that like if you want to be a competitive high high class player of whatever sport, there has to be some type of instruction on how to handle that pressure
Yeah, yeah. I
because
think
I've seen too many players who just say, okay, well, this is too much, I'm gonna just stop.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't think that has to be a whole. There has to be a better system to handle that. There has to be.
Yeah. I think a lot of teams are implementing that, like mental health training, mental coaches.
Yeah.
They're doing that a lot more. At least the professional levels. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing like as far as like the youth teams, but I know a lot of professional teams are have mental coaches and things like that.
Right.
But like you said, yeah, like from the youth, that's definitely got to start from the youth.
They need to have something, bro. Like they have to have something because these kids are having a lot of pressure too. Think like just thinking back on our games in the past, like playing in a state cup final. That's mad pressure for a young kid.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you're playing against, it's a big game. You're what, 11, 12 years old. Like if you don't win now, your head's in the fog. If so it's
facts.
like there should definitely be something to like at least at least teach him something. I'm not
Yeah,
saying like
yeah, yeah.
full course, but just give him a little bit of a better understanding on the topic.
Yeah, just like preparation,
Hmm.
preparation for certain things that are to come. You know what I mean? Some kids get a taste of it more so than others, just
Yeah.
like through things that they go through in life. They're able to
Right.
handle certain things more so than others. But
Fuck.
like, a standard sports mental coach
Hmm.
is definitely important, because I mean, I know some youth players that come up and they don't know what to do when the coach benches them for the first time, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It's bro. That's a great point right there. Because we come from being the stars from wherever that we're from. We're like the top guy wherever we go. You
Yeah.
go and get bent somewhere, you're like, yo, what?
What's
You're
going on?
benching
Yeah. What's going on?
I thought I was the favorite coach. What's going on? I thought I was the man.
What's really good right now?
Going crazy, bro. You're like,
Yeah,
wow.
man.
And
Most
sometimes I don't
definitely.
make that. I remember there was times where I didn't even make the game roster, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, not even a part of the 22 that's dressing. Tell me that I'm not that good.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine what that do to your mental, bro.
God, man, bro,
Of course, man. And then the thing is,
a
if
lot.
you let it get to you, then that's when it's gonna take you down. You
Hmm.
know, that's when it's gonna take you down. So I
Hmm.
mean, I was lucky to be able to experience a lot of that in residency already
Yeah.
with the U14 national team in Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You got like 50 guys, so not everyone's gonna play all the time. So you got to learn how to deal with those setbacks. Got to deal with getting put on the bench. Got to
Hmm.
deal with waiting for your time. Sometimes you get restless, but most of the time that usually just made me go harder on my own training, just to be like, all right, just try to get to an undeniable spot. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but but you have like, but that takes a level of mental strength. Like you
Facts,
have to
facts,
know that.
facts.
You know what I mean? Like some players would view that like, all right, well, forget this coach, whatever. He just don't like me. Like
Yeah,
I'm not gonna grind and go do it. They'll use that as an excuse to just do whatever.
facts.
You know what I mean? But mental health is something that people don't want to talk about either. It's a very like touchy, weird topic in today's culture.
And it
People gotta stay away from that.
and it happens, and it can happen like from the smallest things of trauma or whatever.
Hmm.
Be it an injury, be it a bad game or whatever. Like how you were saying, like when you came back from your knee injury, how it was messing with
Yeah,
your head. Like
yeah,
my first couple months back after being out for so long,
right.
I didn't only have like the physical injury, I had the mental injury, bro. Like when you come back, I was scared to go into tackles, I was scared to cut, I was scared to shoot,
Hmm.
bro. I was scared to do a lot of stuff. I was like, damn, if I do this, I might bust it again, or if
Right.
I cut down the line, I might
Hmm.
bust it again. Like, you know. And
It's
it took
constantly
me,
the worry, bro. It's
yeah,
constantly a worry.
and it took me a while to finally like break through that. Not until like I was maybe doing a sprinting drill,
Yeah.
and like I slipped, and I had to catch myself, and I was like, oh,
My knees feeling all right.
okay, it's all right, nothing
Right.
happened. Then I was able to go, but up until
Mhm.
then, bro, I was like favoring my other
Yeah.
leg.
And you don't stop thinking about it. That like first 2 months, and then when I tore my ACL, man, and I came back, like I remember the club was like, yeah, yeah, we just signed somebody from Algeria. So I was like, all right, okay. So then my agent was like, all right, don't worry, we'll send you on trial to like these five other League One clubs. So I was like, okay, cool, bro. Keep in mind, this is like a month and a half, maybe 2 months after I had officially came back from my knee injury. I haven't told this shit to nobody. This is like this is between us right now. I haven't told nobody this story. So when I came back, bro, he was like, all right, so we have like PSG, AS Monaco, Lille, Bordeaux, and Rennes that you can go trial to.
Yeah.
My first trip flew to Paris. I was playing with the PSG under like 23 team. Areola, those guys were all there. This is when Areola was still in the academy system, right? So he was still young. He was still young, but living in the academy, bro. I couldn't play with those guys, bro. Zero confidence. The ball was moving 100 miles per hour. It was so fun. You know when you're in practice and the level is just high. I was hiding.
Hey yo,
I was
like, yo, I
this
hope they
space
don't get
where
me
I
this
know
ball.
I wouldn't get the ball.
God, bro.
he's like, I'm not about to make no mistakes.
Right, bro. It was a crazy feeling. Same thing happened. Went to all those clubs, man. Same thing. It was my entire confidence. Like I didn't believe in myself. I was down, man. It was a horrible time, man. Horrible time. And I'll never forget that.
Bro, that happens to a lot, bro. It happens to a lot of folks, man.
Like literally, the confidence thing is.
It's hard to come back from that injury, though, bro. You know, especially if you don't have like the right mentor and then the right system around you. A lot of people have like mad people nurturing them and like preparing them to come back, but those are like the top guys. You feel me? Like they don't look at like the youth like that. I don't think. I don't know.
No, that's
What
definitely
was in your case? Did you have anybody that you could talk to about the injury or anything?
nah.
Yeah.
Me, myself, and I, my guy. It was me, myself, and I. I had to just sit there and listen to my thoughts. You know, just steadily just putting me in a darker place, bro.
Ah, man. Yeah,
Is it
man.
like something that you could talk to your dad about?
But you know that African mentality is certain things that I couldn't really talk to my dad about. And sad as that sounds, like a very like easy thing to talk about, like, oh dad, I'm going through a tough time. But I don't know, like I just felt like in my head, in my little kid head, I thought that he believed that I should know how to handle this already.
Right.
You feel me?
And that's very true, man.
Mhm.
Like there's certain things that I just don't talk about with my dad, like, because I think it's a lack of understanding. He'd be like, okay, yeah, you got injured, now you back. Like,
Yeah.
you should just be you plugged right in. You feel me? It was like I think I could talk to him like, man, I don't even know if I have it in my head anymore to play. You feel me? Like that's not something that I would talk to him about. Like,
Nah, bro.
I don't know.
Because
It's
it's kind of like you just don't want your dad to like view you as weak. I guess.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? What was that thing? I don't think that I'm weak-minded. You know.
Man, thinking about it, man, like growing up, man, I kept a lot of things inside. Like I don't let out a lot of stuff, bro. I keep that stuff internal, and I've like through experiences and just like research, I heard that's like terrible for you,
Yeah,
bro.
man. It's no good, bro. It's no good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you for sure, if I didn't like I was lucky, I was able to talk to my dad, but mainly in part because he played.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he knew some of the shit that I was going through. He had his injuries and things like that. So like when I was hurt, but there were days where I would call and I'd be like, man, bro, I'm not like where I just woke up and I was like, man, I'm not feeling it.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And especially because my knee wasn't showing no signs of getting better.
Yeah.
So I would hit him up on some of my down days and he was able to guide me through certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So I was lucky in that aspect for sure.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was lucky in that aspect for sure. But at the same time, like I was also out in Germany, bro, solo. The four walls were like closing in sometimes, man.
Bro, you were out there by yourself for a decade, bro. 10 years, bro.
That's a long time, man.
That's a long time, man.
Bro, that's silly long, bro. 10 years?
And let me tell you, man, like when you know how it is because you were in France, you were in Sweden, on your own. Like you go out to Europe and you're young, you're like 16, 17.
Yeah.
So you got like I won't say control, but like the world is your oyster at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go two different paths. You know what I mean? And it's all your choice.
Right.
Like there's so many like stories out there of like,
bro, living on your own at a young age is eye opening, bro. It's crazy.
bro, it's eye opening, man.
Bro, it was wild going into a dorm of like 50 players. None of them spoke English, bro. I was the only guy in there speaking English. Everyone spoke French or different wild languages that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had my PSP, the same PSP movie, Lords of Dogtown. Watched the same thing.
Right, so how was it? How was your living quarters? Like how was the house?
Yeah. So that's when so my roommate was this kid named Florian. He was like a kid on my team, but he didn't speak English, so we had to communicate through like sign language. He'd be like, "Yo, time to, eat," stuff like that. But after like 6 months of being there, I learned the language, and that's when I got friends. But up until that point, 6 months of isolation is crazy as a 15-year-old, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? As a 15-year-old, not having no friends, like I would be waiting for my mom and dad's phone call like once or twice a week on my little block Nokia joint.
Hey, the prepaid joint.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that call because I'm like, God, this is like finally I get to talk to my family and all that. But besides that, man, I was just solo adult. And Joe, you were gone even earlier. Because I remember before you left for Germany, you were up in Canada for a little bit too, right?
Yeah, facts.
Dang.
So Canada was all right just because like everybody speaks English up there, you know.
Yeah,
but,
true.
Like, it was a bit weird though because we had like the host family and like we were living in the basement, bro, and like they had a lock on the door upstairs, so we were just in the basement, bro. Like,
it was you and Charlie Boy, right?
Yeah, me and Charlie Boy Rankin, man. Shout out to Charles Rankin.
Charles Rankin, legend himself.
Huh?
Who y'all playing for?
Vancouver Whitecaps.
Okay.
It was the Whitecaps at the time. And so, like, after this is like after residency. Yeah. So we move up there, and like, bro, the residency program, like, the school was just unbelievable. It's not school, bro.
Right.
So after I left there and I go to Canada, go to that hard curriculum. Bro, I'm in class. I'm in class like this, like. Because
we're shook.
According to my transcripts from that school down in Florida, I'm in like AP calculus my senior year. I get in that class, boy. Teacher starts writing all these graphs, all these trends. I'm like, yo, what? I had to transfer out of that quick. I said, hey, nah.
Wait, how long did you stay over there, though?
I was there for a year.
A year?
Yeah, I was there for
a year. Man.
So,
I mean, that had to have been a cool experience, though, living in Canada.
It was cool, man. It was cool.
Cool place. Canada's a cool place, yo.
You know Nav. Y'all listen to Nav.
Of course. Shout out to my Indian boy.
I don't listen to him like that.
What?
Yeah,
I'm not listening to only that hood.
Yo, what you all I listened to was 90s R&B today, man. It's all about how
I'm a R&B head. Who? Give me a
you don't know, like I be listening to
all R&B.
Anita Baker.
Anita Baker.
Okay.
Anita Baker.
That classic stuff.
That's not. Yeah,
I listen to all that. I listen to Tony. I listen to Jodeci. All that, man. I know all the. I got a whole playlist.
All right.
Go ahead, man. I got a playlist I can send to you. Play that at night when you with your lady. You got some wine. It's going down. You feel me?
Hey, yo. Yeah, man. But yo, Omizi, I was about to ask you. So like, I mean, kind of similar to me. Your pops was your coach all the time.
Yeah.
How was it? Like,
man, it was tough, man. It was real tough because people would be like, oh, the only reason he started is because his dad's the coach. His dad. So you always got to have that in the back of your mind. You got to, every time you go out practice or in a game, you got to really show out to be like, nah, I deserve this spot.
Yeah.
My dad was always hard on me. Like, shit, if I had a bad game, bro, I get in that car, bro, like literally the whole drive. It could be a whole hour drive. You just be talking like, damn, I can leave. What were you doing? What were you thinking here? Like, yo, it was crazy, bro. Like, so People think I have it easy. Like, nah, bro. My dad's hardest on me, and my dad was a hard coach, bro.
Yeah.
Like, y'all played for him, so y'all
Yeah,
know.
I remember Anthony.
He was hard on us, and he didn't take no like weakness and no fucking weak games, none of that. Like, he wanted you to go hard every game. So,
but go ahead, Omar.
No, what you about to say?
I was gonna say that like one thing that I noticed about you, both y'all fathers though, is that like there was never any kind of, if anything, they put us first before they put y'all first. You know what I mean?
My dad would fight for the team, bro. Like, you know how many times my dad got kicked out of the game?
What, bro? I remember.
Over 10 times, bro. Like, my dad got kicked out of the game a lot, bro.
I remember Anthony, man.
He used to fight for us though, bro. Like, protect.
A lot of people didn't want to see us win, man. I remember in the U12, the regionals, we killed everybody in the regionals. I think we only had one goal scored against us the whole regionals, bro. And that was in the semis. And we won 8-1. Yo, like they wrote an article about us talking about we had overage players, the Giants of Potomac and all them. Like, we had to go through, like, people would talk shit about us a lot, bro. My dad was like, had to defend them. Even like the coaches, they would try to break that, like, disband the team and like be like, yo, like, you guys have all the players, y'all need to like disperse the team and all that, bro.
Well, that was internet trolling before internet trolling was a thing.
Yeah,
exactly. And then Steve Nichols, he had the whole Steve Nichols thing. He had the McDonough pool and all that. And, you know, we had a lot of players on our team that wanted to go to McDonough.
Yeah.
Which, you know, you already know the details.
Yeah.
Team and everything, but yeah.
Man,
there was tension, boy. They used to be mad, bro. I remember when I was young, I used to just go to like Got Soccer and just type and be like, let me see what they're talking about me.
Big facts.
What big mistake.
And the funny thing is, yo, the people that were talking about us were parents, bro. They would
be grown men and women, bro.
About kids, man.
And there would be arguments, bro. There'd be arguments, like real arguments on this.
Saying that we're overage, saying that we had kids in Africa. Imagine, bro. Imagine.
That was wild.
I remember that. That was
overaged. Saying that we're overage. There's no way these kids are 12, you know. And good. I mean, my pops, or they did a good job of like keeping us away from all of that, you know. I mean, I knew a little bit of it, but I didn't really know like how much they were talking about it. Not until like I left the house till I moved out, and then I went back on the forum sometime. Bro, I was on bigsoccer.com one day, and I seen a forum of like 40,000 posts. 40,000 posts just talking trash about us, man.
But back then, those forums were like the place, though. That was like the spot, because that's when like that other website too is like nationalsoccerrankings.com, whatever that was like the popular website. So like all those forums, people just go on there and just talk about us, bro. I remember I read one thing. I think it was after, I forgot what tournament we had just won or something like that. Someone wrote in the chat, they were like, in caps, they are not youth players.
You know, they were big hating, bro, for no reason. But when you think about it, actually, yo, like, we won state cups and no one scored on us.
Yeah.
And went to regionals.
In the whole tournament.
The whole tournament.
So
I can see why parents is hating. But like, come on, yo, you don't attack kids. Be like, yo, they got kids in Africa and all that. Like, yo, now y'all.
We had just been fortunate enough to that team was a crazy team. I mean, honestly, every team that I played on in Maryland has been a team that I can't even like comprehend. Like, how was there that much talent on these two teams?
Yeah.
You know, like Roadrunners, I think 9 guys went pro. Fusion, like 6-7 guys went pro. Like, come on. That doesn't happen on a day-to-day basis. So I can understand why those parents, because they don't like they couldn't understand why that was like how is that possible? How are these guys this good? It didn't make sense.
They're like, I'm paying all this money for my kid to go to training and speed training and all this, and we still get smacked like this.
We had that element that Anthony and my pops was. Bro, we used to go to Mount Hebron and run That's
bro.
that is. I think
the
that's
worst days, cause
yeah.
Bro, I used to be sick and like my dad put up the practice and I see Coach Phillip, bro. Oh
Oh,
my God, bro. I would be sick. I
bro,
know we about to run.
because
the
we were
I
worst.
know it.
we practiced what Tuesdays, Thursdays, and
Yeah.
I just knew on like Tuesdays or what those 2 days we was gonna run. So just like going to training, I would just concentrate mentally, just try and prepare myself the whole time for the run. Like I'll try to
Yo.
be in the car and ask him like, so what are we about to
What we
run
about to
today?
do?
What are we about to do today? Are we gonna play or are we gonna pitch? He was like, we're gonna run. Oh my.
Those were the worst. And it's not like
First.
for people who don't understand, when we say run, like Coach Phillip, running isn't like regular. Like you gotta be in shape
We
to run with Coach
we
Phillip.
do we just sprint like 200s and stuff, bro. My legs were like jello every time. And then he'd be like, all right, we're gonna juggle. We're gonna juggle after that.
Yeah.
Bro, how you juggle with your legs be feeling like jello, man?
Yeah. And then, but what I know now, what I know now, I realize now is like that stuff, it hardens you.
Oh,
So like when you do all of that stuff, kind of prepared me for all the preseasons and everything that I did over my professional career.
nah,
You know,
for sure.
like from the amount of running that I was doing with him, a lot of my preseasons were gravy compared to what he had us doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And being able to learning from a young age how to like push through that mental threshold.
Mm-hmm.
That's mainly what he was trying to get us to do. Because
Yeah.
I remember how he would be yelling at dudes if they wasn't making the times, like,
Bro, he didn't
you can't
care
make the
about your
time.
feelings.
Yeah, he was like, you ain't making this time. You think you're gonna play anywhere? You think you're gonna play?
Yeah, bro, it was definitely not easy. I remember like it was one, bro, it was Christmas Eve, bro. I wake up to go open my first gift. I'm hyped. I'm running down the stairs. My dad is like, "Oh, Coach Phillip just called. We're gonna." He's like, "We're gonna go meet them at Kennedy." I was like, "Bro, it's Christmas Eve. No rush." Went there. We ran like 2 miles, like 8 400s, bro. Like crazy, but that's what is defining us now, though. You know, like
Yeah.
that kind of to be pushed at that young age and like really push through it. You know, it helps.
Gives you that edge. Gives you
Mm-hmm.
that edge. Gives you that base. You know. So yeah, man. That's it. We're saying about mental health. Um, just trying to find a way to control your thoughts. You know, whether it be meditating or reading, you know, because an idle mind, then that's when, you know, everything will start creeping up into your head, you know, trying to keep those things at bay.
Yeah.
So I mean, me now that I've been playing more and more, yeah, you have days where like, yeah, your head is messed up, but
Mhm.
you know, the process or whatever you can do to get yourself back, you know,
Right.
back to reality, back present,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you need to figure out for yourself. And once you're aware of these things, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys are unaware of it. You can
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be
Sure.
in a bad mood, just overthinking, but
Mm-hmm.
not knowing how like deadly it is to your mental
Right.
health. You know, not
But
knowing how.
Joe, let me ask you this, man.
Right.
As like a pro player who's in like the public eye, you're like constantly like you have people who never play the game, you know, criticizing your game.
Yeah.
How does that play into a part of your mental health? Like, do you read into what you read on these blogs now that you're a pro? Because I feel like now you probably it's more visible to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like tagging you in and stuff, or whatever the case might be. How do you handle that?
Yeah, man. I mean, you see it,
Mm-hmm.
and like me, my initial reaction is like sometimes I want to tee off. To be honest, like I
Of
just want to
course.
do a Kevin Durant, make a fake IG page and start going off, you
Right.
know? But at the same time, you got to know like being a pro, you're subject to stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's part of the game. You got to just charge it to the game and just chalk it up to that.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I try to do. And most of the time, I just think like, this dude talking trash. I'll probably run circles around this man with one leg. So then I'm like, all right,
100%.
let me not even take it that deep. You know?
Right. It's literally just random individuals behind a computer just talking crazy. You know, with,
like
I don't know.
Who spends their time behind the computer just talking?
To just hate. Yeah, to just hate.
I'll tell you, a lot of people do that, bro. A lot of people just hide behind their computer screens and talk crazy. Like, come on, like the fact that you're like criticizing someone who is a professional in a sport that you've never played past JV is crazy. You know what I mean? That's like me. That's like me going to the doctor, bro. And the doctor tells me something, and I'm like, nah, this is how you do it. you know what I mean? This doesn't make sense. Right. It makes no sense.
Like you cannot play. You cannot operate in a 11v11 game. Yeah, you can sit back and say somebody sucks, or what the hell was that person doing? Like it doesn't click in my brain. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I can never criticize a player from like, you know, being. I mean, I guess it's being a player, but I just can't sit down and like totally like just crucify a player like that, bro. Because it takes just the fact that you're like that player who I'm able to talk about means you do something to get to that point. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't just happen. Like, of course, I'm not gonna sit here and say names, but there's been players that I know you guys could think about who've made it that you're like, damn, how the fuck, what?
Yeah.
Make it. But you know, as crazy as that sounds, he probably still put in the groundwork. He probably still had that tough mental aspect of it that I didn't have. You know, so there's other factors that definitely go into it.
Yeah.
But these guys don't understand that. They just look at it, like he's getting paid X amount of dollars. He has to perform every single time. He doesn't do this perfectly. He doesn't score 4 goals. He's not a good player. Like, come on. That's silly.
And, you know, so like, and then the main thing is just trying to separate yourself from the expectations of others. You know what I mean? Like being able to just focus solely on the essence of yourself.
Right.
And that comes with time. Like now that I'm older now, like I'm totally content with who I am as a man, you know? So I feel less and less of a need to go out there and be like, yeah, I'm going to show everybody. Because that's how it was when I first came back from my injury. I was like, no, I'm going to show them all. I'm going to show them all. They were hating. Yeah. You know? But now it's like, I'm on the ball regardless.
Facts.
So.
Facts. And there will always be, like, guy, there's Messi critics. There's Ronaldo critics.
Facts.
And these guys have 10 Ballon d'Or between the two. You know what I mean? So, like, come on.
Yeah.
If the guys are getting criticized, then anybody can get criticized. That's just how it is. You know, that comes with, you know, being a pro, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta just chop it up to that.
But yeah, man, and also too, like, besides just like the fans, like, are there ever days where even now when you come home from practice that you're just like overthinking what you do during practice, or has that gone away too?
Nah, there's days where I would come home. If I have a bad practice or my team gets smacked in a 6v6 tournament or something like that, I'll come home. Or I might even be in the locker room, bro. Like there's been times this past season where like my team might have got smacked and like my boy will be on the other team that smacked us and he'll try and come up to me and talk shit after. And I'll be mad, bro. There was one time this guy on my team, it's my boy Fatai. Yeah. Like his team smacked us, and then he tried to come up to me and talk shit, and I was just like, "Man, bro, shut the fuck up right now. I don't want to hear it." But now, you know, now I got my girl. I can't be coming home bringing that nonsense to the crib, you know. So I gotta just.
So I gotta leave it all there.
Leave it there, right before I get in the door. I'm like.
Open the door
decompress real quick and I gotta just let it be that, you know. But that's tough. Yeah, because
that was one thing for me that I used to just go crazy about, bro, was practices and stuff, like just overthinking nonsense, you know, just or like little stuff too, like things that probably didn't even matter, either. Things that didn't even of course, you didn't even recognize or something like that. I'm just sitting there hours upon hours, like, wow, I really miscontrolled that fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. But we can save that for another episode.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean,
save that
episode. Sure. All right, guys. Well, that's been it for episode 1 of the OG3 pod.
Alrighty.
Back later, episode 2 coming back next Thursday. We're gonna be here.
Howdy.